that shot.
Beautiful.
Holy smokes.
And she does it.
Unbelievable get from Killian Carroll to win the match and the Players' Championship. WPH Players Champion Katrina Casey wins the women's title.
And Louise somehow gets that ball back.
Kelly Shanks retains his #1 position. Top player on the WPH Race 3 Tour.
Great shot from Louise.
Just like that, it's over. Paul Brady wins.
And the crowd is going nuts.
There it is. Carroll has his first title of the season. What a match. That was incredible.
And he repeats. Killian Carroll is our Players' Champion.
Killian Carroll does it one more time. He takes this championship.
Luis Cordova wins the Memorial. Mark Mulkerns is our winner. He wins the Players' Championship.
A lot of people say it was the best match they've ever seen.
Biggest tournament of the year.
Welcome to Tucson, Arizona for the WPH Icebreaker, stop number 3 on the Race for 8 Tour of 2024-25. My name is Dave Vincent alongside Max Lanemack for this Dave Fink, Luis Cordova semifinal match.
Serving Dave Fink from Tucson, Arizona, and receiving serve Luis Cordova from El Paso, Texas. Games to 21, tiebreaker to 11. 0 serve 0.
You heard the announcement there from Ashley Ruiz, our referee for this first game. Little screen there, no call.
So players have to be kind of feeling each other out here.
That was a miss. It almost went in.
Point. 1 serve 0. Point.
Luis Cordova enters this match as the number 2 seed.
2
Or
serve
actually
0.
ranked number 2, number 1 seed in this tournament.
Side out.
Quickly apologizes to Fink there for that flub.
Makes up for the last mistake.
0 serves 2.
Fink entered this one ranked number 5, seeded number 4. In case you have home keeping score. We're at Clark Park in Tucson, Arizona for this stop.
Point.
Aerial view. This isn't part of that New Jersey drone swarm. This is the Tucson version of it.
One serves
Good
2.
court coverage here in Tucson.
Early on here doing a really good job of holding the middle of the court.
This is a nice long rally at the beginning of the match. Not the greatest thing that you want to begin, but I think it's something Fink wants.
To tire out Luis.
Now you play him, so
Yeah.
you know he's in great physical shape when you go in there. So already a little working on your psyche, right? But what makes him so good out here? Because he does kind of dominate these outdoor courts.
Yeah, and he's really shown his kind of aptitude for 3-wall here. Yeah, I feel like even more in the last 2 or 3
Second
years.
serve.
But to me, I think it's Dave's willingness to fly kill. I mean, he's so smart and cerebral
Point.
that he can take a lot of shots where he's kind of looking back over his shoulder, already know the trajectory, and he seems to just have a great, I don't know if it's part of the tennis stroke or something, but he hits that ball down, it stays down into the corners, and it's really tough to get to.
And he did it right while you were talking about it, too.
Yeah, and a great serve, too. So, I mean, it's like you return the serve as best you can, and then he can be all over it with the fly.
And even being 47 years of age, he still is able to get these serves back. That's what I noticed that went first for me when I got older, was that just returning the serve is so difficult to do against a younger player, but it doesn't seem to affect Fink. Maybe it's because of that tennis.
Could be, yeah. And I feel like, you know, 3-wall serves have such a great mix of power and pop at this level. So, I mean, it's like trying to catch a 70, 80 mile an hour curveball and hit it back, and your opponent has all the advantages here. But he does such an easy job of hitting those 2 walls, getting his opponent back into the deep court. that it allows him to reestablish that center court and fly kill.
Point.
Dave Fink and Luis Cordova have met in the first 3 Race for 8 Icebreaker finals. That's 2021, 22, and 23.
2 serves,
Here,
3.
though, they match up in the semis. So that streak is over.
Yeah, this definitely seems like a matchup we've come to know or expect even in some of these these icebreakers.
It's in the front. Thank you.
Dave Fink and Luis Cordova are both tied at 6 when it comes to the Icebreaker championships. So one of these guys has a chance. Now, if you win this, you're going to be in the final. You have a chance to also lose that final, but one of these guys could make it 7. 7 titles. And basically, the Icebreakers were created during the pandemic as a way to be outside and social distance, but still keep pro handball alive.
Right, absolutely.
Point.
Another point for Lucho.
It's kind of funny to see how that tradition has expanded, you know, and what was 4 people so in a small camera crew initially is now 30 plus and big ball included. So it's great to see.
Point.
Nice high kill there from Lucho. He does a good job of changing that angle and just putting it down.
So timeout?
It's one of the things Chip Morales used to tell me is, in 3-wall, it's less about going bottom
6
board,
serves, 3.
more about using those corners, using the 6-inch, but, the opponent has to run from practically past the back wall. You kind of put it down, keep it low, and don't overhit it.
Yeah.
And it's tough to get to.
3 serves, 6.
Gotta love Chip Morales. Anytime you make a Chip Morales reference.
4 serves, 6.
Yeah, baby.
Veteran of 3 pro stops there.
Over. Sorry. Huh?
That's unavoidable.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There was a ball coming up the court. I looked down. Over.
Getting a little chippy. Kind of early in the morning here.
Yeah.
4 serves, 6.
Get that!
Side out. 6 serves, 4. Side out. 4 serves, 6.
Oh, that's good.
Very nice.
Point.
He sold me here in the booth.
I did too. Yeah. Luis actually took that stutter step to the left.
Yeah.
I mean, Dave's been peppering balls down that left the whole time, and then he throws that one into the mix.
5 serves, 6.
Then you start thinking, as the guy returning the serve, and you come back to the line like that, what a difficult serve after that one out the door.
6 serves, 6.
Very smart serving from Fink here.
When he hits that serve down the right too with some hop, it does a lot of movement even from what you initially think.
6 serve 6.
We've changed referees.
Point. 7-6. 7-6.
Players have to get used to the referee's cadence now, as they have a new ref here. It's difficult, Max, because you get really intense in these games, and they're emotional. And there's, you're doing it against a rival, a guy that you're not splitting with anymore. The guy that's been kind of dominating you. And that guy doesn't want to lose any. You feel like you're digressing if you lose to a person you've been dominating. So both players kind of chippy with the referees, just a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
But with kind of a purpose, not being mean, just letting them know who's the boss. And then a ref comes in, is replaced. They have a different cadence, and you get kind of annoyed as a player.
Yeah, agreed. It's emotion in handball is so funny and something I feel like I'm still learning about, even playing for 15 years here. But if you come in too flat, people push you around on the court, you know, you might not argue your case for a call. And then if you come over the other way and are too aggressive, going personal, things like that, no one really likes to.
10-6.
You know, you lose calls there.
Right.
So
Yeah, I know.
finding that balance is a really tough thing. And then going through the ups and downs of a match with that balance.
And you're making some mistakes, and then you're mad at yourself, and you take it out on the ref, or at least it looks like that. But and you're out of breath, so you have to try to get it out as quick as possible because you don't want to you don't want to have to, you know, overexert yourself.
Right.
Your lungs should be used for trying to, you know, get your energy back. Instead, you're using your lungs to yell at a referee, and it makes it look like you're being an awful handball player. But the reality is you have to try to compact your words as quick as possible.
Totally.
And outdoors is compacted even more. It's even more difficult outside.
And I feel like the thing that always gets lost sometimes in doing the, you know, watching these matches is these guys are running, you know, they're sweating, they're breathing hard almost from the second or third point of the game, you know, and that might not be hands on the hips like can barely stand up like we see later they push through.
Right.
But even right now, you know, it'd be tough to say a long speech or you know, do anything that's going to require a lot of breath and thought. You're focused on one thing and one thing only, and that's, you know, hitting your shots and hitting them well and powerfully.
Point.
And there's a lot of distractions out here. You see players in their matches, and they have heated matches, and they're trying to earn points on the sides. They don't want to feel less important than your major match that you're playing. And so they might sweep onto your court. You have to try to watch out for them, listen to the referee's cadence. There's a lot of stuff going on outside.
Absolutely.
I'm making pre-excuses for players for no reason, but I know how difficult it is. It's easy to lose your mind. Anyway.
Agreed.
Outdoors. It's easy to lose your mind, and then outdoors, it's easy to yell loud. A lot of emotion in here.
Second serve.
What do you think about that avoidable call?
I think it was the right call. Yeah. I think
11-7.
Lucho maybe could have gone to the right. It's tough to say because I don't think he was looking back as much, but
which he doesn't do.
Right. He's always kind of facing the front.
Smart shot there from Lucho.
You can't just misread every ball.
The first time these guys ever met was in 2010 at the three-wall ball outdoor world championships in Las Vegas. And Dave Fink defeated Lucho Cordova in 2 straight there. I believe that was a semifinal match, if I recall.
Okay.
Point.
And there's some great matches. I remember watching when I was younger on YouTube from those tournaments.
8-11.
Fun tournament.
Very, yeah. I got to play in
Point.
one of them right during COVID, actually, and that was quite the experience, yeah.
9-11.
9 serves 11. Game number 1 going to 21.
Short.
This is the semifinals of the men's Race for 8
Second serve.
Icebreaker in Tucson, Arizona here in December.
Second serve. Can you hit that kind of return?
Camera coverage from Shea Lowenstein. Doing some incredible work for us here.
All right. 10 serving 11.
Back into it here at 10-11 after that timeout, and a short ball from Lucho tries to bring it in. I really appreciate these guys that can serve deep line serves that go out the door and then instantly go after a crack up front. It's so hard as a returner, Max, to gauge what your server is going to do when they go low up to the front crack and then go deep on a line toward the baseline. It's so hard to gauge because they have the same shooting motion.
Right, and if you think about it too, like if you go for the crack, you're probably sprinting about 10 feet. But if they're going out the door, you either got to cut it off the line, which is a very tough shot, or go back another 10 feet. So the amount of running that you wouldn't normally have with the back wall really changes. The amount of area these guys have to cover on return serve really makes the serve really dangerous.
Yeah, and I think that crack is almost like harder to get than a
12-11.
A good deep line serve.
Yeah.
We've seen both of these guys with really cool, like close up front, sort of crack type serves.
He's running right across me, man. Like literally right across me on that shot.
Do the same thing. Like.
What do you mean I do the same thing?
You
tell me when I do the same thing. Because it'll be never.
All right, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Let's play. You get 10 seconds. Let's play.
There's no reason.
I think I agree with Dave on this. I saw the crossing myself, but I don't know if it was as severe
13-11.
as Dave's making it seem, but I don't know what your thoughts were there. I did see the cross.
I see the cross for sure. It's tough in three-wall because I think Luis is trying to get back to the center.
14-11.
I think Fink needs to just hold up and catch the ball if it happens, right? And then really put the pressure on the ref. You're either going to call it or you're not.
Right.
And if you don't
15-11.
do that, like stop the play,
Short.
then you could clearly see the ball.
Second
Kind of
serve.
catch-22, really.
It is, yeah.
See, would you call that a crossover?
Yeah, nah, that one, yeah. I think I would go incidental, but I think
out.
that's kind of the tough part about three-wall is, yeah.
The game is sort of developed like this. Like you have to allow some of that crossover.
Right. Because you don't want to take a shot away, you know, from a player that they want.
Right. Yeah.
In positions that they want. And that's, I think, some of the really tough part about being a ref and sometimes a new ref like Dylan here is when you first come in, it's like some of these things are just mind-blowing what they want and what they can roll out, but they still want it, you know.
It's a nice shot from Fink there. Again, it goes along with what you said earlier. His fly kills kind of is a game changer. He's not great up to the roof, but he makes up for it with these fly kills.
Right.
Side out.
It's just a beautiful pass right there from
Every single person.
Luis Cordova.
And conversely, I mean, I feel like Luis has a great fly game, but I also feel
15-11.
like he's like what he really wants to do is just continue to drive you back
Short.
and overpower you.
I saw a short.
I thought that was good, but let's
I
see.
saw a short.
Oh, but it was short.
Okay.
Second serve.
Luis thought he said it was over by 6 inches, but it was about 3 inches short. Beautiful shot from Fink. And he does that on the four-wall court too, so it's not like just a random thing he does outdoors. That's sort of his four-wall corner.
Yeah, Dave's left is incredible. He gets so much with it.
Over. That's not even close to an avoidable. No, that's not unavoidable. Go serve.
It's close. It's close.
11-15.
I would say that's pretty close to an avoidable. I don't know about you, Max, but
yeah,
Luis could have stayed to the right there, I guess.
12-15.
Dave had a pretty good argument all that time.
Yeah.
But see, if you argue after all these plays, eventually they're just going to be kind of numb.
Yeah, you just kind of shut down as a ref because you think the guy's just trying to work you for every call you can get.
Side out.
Turn these perfect rallies into a lose.
You know, I got a text because I subscribed to the United States Tennis Association.
15-12.
Gives out their weekly rankings. I get this text message yesterday. In fact, Dave Fink is ranked 18th in the Open.
Wow.
The men's Open. I believe it's 18th.
12-15.
19th maybe. But think about that for a second. I actually have to check my phone.
Point.
I don't want to miss guess on this. But Max, here's a guy who's ranked 5th coming into this tournament. Seeded
13-15.
And he excels in tennis. It's pretty impressive.
It is, yeah.
Because that works.
Definitely like as versatile and successful as an athlete as
15-13.
I've ever seen. There with Deion Sanders status.
Well, you have to look at it and say,
Point.
you know, there's 3,500 people that are ranked with the USTA.
16-13.
And you have the pro division, of course, we see on TV, right? They have the top 256 players, whatever they're ranked. Then they have the open players right below that.
Right.
Dave is ranked 19th out of 3,500 players
That's amazing.
that are in the open.
Yeah, that's an incredible accomplishment for sure.
He's had 4 losses this year, and 3 of those losses were within grasp. And if he would have gotten those wins, he'd probably be ranked number 1. And he's 47. Oh, by the way. This is a very close first game.
Some great rallying going on. I always like that left-hand cut from Luis. I feel like it comes from kind of a frontone or
Good.
pelota style where
Side out.
That was a good
Second.
call by the ref.
yeah.
We're back in. Fink serving. Scores 13,
Back
serving
in
16.
13 to 16. Game number 1 going to 21.
What a shot.
David, man, what are you doing? Seriously.
Gotta love Dave.
16-13.
You know, I always contend that Dave just says out loud what we all think. I mean, I've had people say it's egregious what he does. But it's like, no, we all do it. We just don't say it. The egregious part is actually opening up your mouth and embarrassing yourself. But
Side out.
if people really knew what you thought when you were in there, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it'd be a different story for me.
13-16.
You know, I
Point.
literally stopped playing the game because of my own attitude. Because you're in a position where people look at you
14-16.
differently, right? And I just know that I'm just as
Short.
crazy as Dave Fink is. So I was like, I just can't do it anymore, right?
Second serve.
My attitude is not good.
Hold it.
That's tough.
Over.
It is.
Call that over.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Hit it right in front of yourself. You got it.
I stopped before you, so that's why you kind of
That's so good.
Called it in time.
What?
I called it in time.
What's your thoughts here?
Before he was there.
I think
I
it's a
played.
good call.
I think it's a good call. I think he has a case.
14-16.
I think he wouldn't
Get
have
10
gone to the
seconds.
left like that.
Yeah, you don't need to condescend to me.
I'm not condescending
Honestly,
you.
That ball was this high and he was back here.
Look, it's the call I made. Go serve.
You don't have to be
14,
condescending to
serving
me. Dave showed that the ball was about 4 centimeters off the ground. It was more like 2 feet.
Yeah.
Again, when you're unable to turn around and see what's happening behind you, it may seem like
Over.
it isn't a hinder. That ball hits our camera. Kind of a rare thing, but it does happen out here.
14, serving 16. Point.
That's
Nice serve.
really been good for Dave this game.
15, serving 16.
That's an awesome pass.
Side out.
This is really cool to watch. Straight up, just down there.
16, serving 15. Short. Second serve.
Nice shot.
Side out.
That's the Dave Fink special right there, that left corner kill.
15, serving 16.
You know, this is going to go all the way down to the very last point, and probably not going to be separated by more than 2 points.
No, yeah.
I don't see anybody going on any runs here. A lot of side outs.
Side out.
And these are the type of games right here that just really wear you down. You still have a final coming up.
That was the worst call I've ever seen. I'm telling you right now, when you watch
Actually, it wasn't the worst call.
Guess we'll just have to watch. 16, serving 15.
It was actually a pretty good call, to be honest. You know, and I don't want to be as condescending as the referee is, but according to Dave, but I don't know
17,
too
serving
many
15.
refs that wouldn't have called
Short.
that over. Like, it really does seem like, even in
Second
fast
serve.
motion and slow motion, it kind of seems like it should be over.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a 50-50 call.
I agree, yeah.
More like maybe 80-20.
I mean, at this rate, too, with just the speed and everything, any ball that kind of is slow and kind of falling on that bounce like that, I think there's still a chance.
There's another crossover from Luis. Set up. Nope. He's back to the roof. Oh, so good. 38 feet back. Fink goes to that left corner kill. That's a beautiful shot, Max.
It is. It is. I think Luis had a chance to put that prior one down and just missed it.
You know, as a referee, you do what Dylan does here, and I do this. I'm going to admit it before I even ask the question, but
15,
that's a
serve,
long
17.
rally. Ball is kind of rolling
Timeout.
around the court a little bit. Players are kind of kicking it to
that's
each
your
other.
second.
You kind of
All right.
allow it,
15,
right?
Yeah.
serving 17.
Yeah, I feel
Because
like
it's even intense for you as a ref.
absolutely. Yeah.
You feel the crowd feels it, the players feel it. You're like, oh, you guys deserve to have a break. That was like a 30-shot rally. Now, I know some other referees that'll get in there and trying to push the action a little bit, but sometimes you just kind of have to let it go as a ref, right?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a feel thing.
16,
but I think
17.
Dylan absolutely made the right call here. And you'll know, players aren't going to respond to it well if you're trying to throw them the ball or you're giving them all these 10-second warnings or things like that.
Well, you saw that after the ball was trickling around, Luis kicks it to Dave. Dave lets it go by. Luis turns
17,
to Dylan and just
17.
calls a timeout.
Great shot.
In.
Yeah, there's nothing like clipping the side walls deep. And
You let
Fink
it
is
go.
looking back saying, did that make
It was
it?
in by a foot.
I think it did make it.
You could have put that shot away.
Seventeen, 17.
Wow, that's going way out of here. Not sure what Luis was even going to try to do there. Maybe to the roof? I don't know.
Yeah.
17, 17. Side out.
What is that? That's not going to do anything. You just missed the easiest shot of the
This is a
tournament.
chance to
For that.
pull away from this tie here.
Dave Fink entered this tournament, the Race for 8
17,
Icebreaker,
17.
with 1 Race for 8 title under his belt. Luis has 10.
Both
Point.
guys you typically see, in that semifinal slot.
18, 17.
At the top of the sport here for as long as my time.
Yeah, but when you were younger watching on video, you probably
17, 18.
saw them at the beginning. I mean, you probably saw Luis
Short.
right at the beginning.
A little bit, yeah. I remember when he was, still
Second
kind of
serve.
building the resume. I mean,
Working
even
on
when
that
he
left.
started, yeah, yeah. Become a weapon, yeah.
Point.
Back when he didn't have one, now he does.
What's the call?
It's point.
Yeah, you got to see a lot of growth from him.
Absolutely, yeah.
Together at 18.
He's as tough an opponent now in the last 5 years as anyone. Smart
Side out.
moves there.
First one should have put away. 10 seconds.
What do we got here for points? Referee's going to make that announcement.
All right. Together at 18.
Tie game. Let's bring it to 3.
All together at 18 here. Let's see what happens. This is a very long first game. A lot of side outs, but a lot of good play too.
Absolutely, yeah. Great rallies.
This is the type of game one that if you just stopped after this, your body would feel it. Fink just missed the pass there.
Oh.
I don't know how he goes over the top of the ball from that position. He had to contort his body to do it.
Yeah, it seemed like he was falling almost to the right. Just got a piece of it or something and guided it in.
Definitely went over the top.
Yeah, agreed.
Together at 18.
In order to go over the top, he had to like really contort. I don't know about you, but sometimes it's just not worth it. Just hit the damn ball. You know, something I've noticed out here on the 3-wall court with Dave is that he's really started to establish a hop serve out here.
Agreed.
It wasn't something that he used to have, and it seems like maybe the outdoor game helped his indoor game, but he's definitely found a way to do it. And it wasn't a trick that he ever had in his quiver. But now it seems like, you know, later, I would say the last 10 years, and with 10 years for Dave, we're talking like 37 to 47. He seems to kind of have it now.
Yeah.
Point.
Beautiful shot there with the right hand. Offhand for Dave Fink, right corner, gets the point.
I think with respect to his hop serve, too, he uses it really well. You know, he's using it to jam or confuse sometimes, but he uses it a lot to, like, stretch the court. So you'll do that extra step of running.
It's game.
No, that was short, dude.
Oh, referee calls that game. That ball was short, right?
Yeah. I
Thought so.
Well, we saw the fist pump, so that kind of guarantees it, and that looks short to me.
Short, yeah.
Let's look at it closer. Oh, definitely. What, 3 inches?
Maybe an inch there. It's close, yeah. But definitely short.
Well, Dave Fink wins game number 1 against Lucho Cordova. The score, Dave Fink 21, Lucho 18. As we get ready for game number 2 here at Clark Park in Tucson, Arizona. You're listening to Max Lane Mac. To my right, my name is Dave Vincent.
All right. Got it.
Stop number 3 on the 2024 Race for 8 Professional Handball Tour. 2024-25, that is.
0-0. Short.
And we're outdoor for this one.
Second
Stop number
serve.
3 will be in Missoula, Montana. Late January, early February.
Looking forward to that one. For the player, I mean, it's always a great time.
Point.
That's an
Incredible
automatic
handball.
kill.
Yeah, I love that stop too.
1-0.
I'm not even sure why. It's just so many cool things about it. You'd say it's because of the snow, but not everybody loves the snow. It's not all about that. It's the locals are pretty incredible, and if you've never gone to Missoula, Montana for handball, it's quite the experience.
They put on a great tournament, you know, and
2-0.
cool to explore the town and everything that it has to hold there as well.
Point.
Yeah, I wasn't going to make this a marketing piece for them, but I was going to, you know, ask you, it was one of my
3-0.
questions. You've been around handball a lot. You've traveled to so many different tournaments. It's something about Missoula, Montana. You get the feeling in Salt Lake City, also Juarez, where it's got that little
4-0.
hometown feel to it. Not quite sure what the wording is, but it feels like an old school tournament.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you, and I think, you know, some of what makes it special for me are those little kind of local traditions.
0-4.
Right.
You know, calling it the Red Death, having it be, you know, with regards to Red and everything that he had kind of built there, is really incredible and awesome that they do it as an honor. And Red's work before that, you know, always kind of made it a tour favorite for the players. So I think that's one of the reasons for me why it's such a great stop. It's those little pieces of flavor that come in, you know.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it. The cool little trophies they give out to the winner.
Exactly.
They give the players their own tournament shirts with their names on the back, which is kind of a cool move. The food is continuous. There's spirits for the adults. And, you know, when you see new faces at a handball tournament, that's always, like, exciting. That's why these outdoor events with the big ball is kind of cool, because you get to see some players that you haven't conversed with in a year.
0-4.
or a half year, or some players you've never even seen before, and they're like sitting courtside rooting for you, and it's like really cool.
Absolutely, yeah. Disagree? Okay, we're gonna go 2 serves because I wasn't entirely confident with that, but I thought it was
I'm
good.
just gonna let him call the game. You know you got all these lines.
No, the one closest to the call disagreed, so I'm gonna go 2 serves.
Let's look here. Let's see for ourselves. It was short.
Short. Yep.
0 serve 4.
I don't know if Fink has been right on a call yet, and that looked like it could have been another short
Yeah,
ball.
it was close as well.
One serve 4. That's good.
That's a great serve. You know, if you have a ball that just barely makes it over the line on that side wall, and then you go deep on that that baseline like that.
Call stands.
Luis appealed that, but it wasn't even close.
4.
Again, another deep serve from Dave, and that one gets a point now, 3-4.
Yeah, and after that quick start from Lucho,
3 serve 4.
Dave was climbing back into this.
Set up.
Dave, that's not a serve.
I agree with him. That was a horrible serve.
4-3.
This level catching that side wall there, just a setup. Lucha doing a better job holding the center court here and moving Dave around. He was doing a good job at the end of the last game too, and then it just seemed like Dave got a couple fly kills and closed it out right when it counted. But wow, good.
Side out.
The crowd like that. Let's look here. Boy, you know how tough that is.
He's crossing me like crazy in the rallies. It's unnecessary, and those are avoidables.
The
He did it twice in that rally.
I didn't see an avoidable there. All right.
What do you call crossing me right before my shot?
He has plenty of time. You have the complete view of the ball every single time. So, serve.
Thoughts?
I think, you know, I see the cross, but I also think Dylan's got a point there, you know.
Oh, that's such a good serve. No, I think you're right. You know, it's interesting outdoor. You couldn't say this or pull it off in a 4-wall court.
Right.
But outdoor,
4 serve 4.
you know, I think these are pro players. They can see everything. I don't like when the game's being stopped at all because I can see where the ball's going, even with somebody in my way. Mm-hmm. So I don't like to call hinders even in a 4-wall court. I could see where a ref would call it in a 4-wall court, but out here, you sort of have to let it go. It's part of the landscape.
Yeah, and I think holding the center court is so much more important in 3-wall because you're not going to have a ball come off the back wall back to you. So if you're not catching it
5-4
mid-court to back-court, you know, if you're not catching it on the way out, you know,
set up,
it's gone.
Yeah.
You know, so it makes holding the mid-court and getting back to the middle of the court much more important.
Both players seem to converge there, so you're going to see a lot of balls that are kind of crossing out in front of and behind. It's just kind of the way the game is developed.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
That's what you're not supposed to do.
Point.
Discipline, man. That's the whole problem. Have to have discipline.
5 serve 5. Short. Second serve.
Oh, that was a terrible shot from Luis, though.
Yeah, got the chance he wanted there. Just kind of missed it.
Over.
You know, you're giving him that shot, and then you're waiting for him to miss it. And then you're calling it.
5 serve 5. Point.
You gotta get that, man. You have to get that. Have 10 seconds.
Six serve 5. Side out.
Has this weather affected you at all? It's kind of cool in the morning, in the upper 30s, low 40s, but then it warms up in the afternoon.
Yeah, it hasn't affected me so much. I know some of the early matches kind of started when it was really starting to warm up, and I've noticed in years past that can be, tough to get the blood moving, tough to get your hands feeling the ball as much. But this year, just the way it worked out with matchups, I didn't have a problem. By the time it gets to 9 or 10 or noon, it's a beautiful day.
7-6.
In the middle of winter. Can only be set around Tucson or the Southwest, really.
Yeah, that's true. Here we are in mid-December, and we've had something like 5 out of the last 7 days of either broke a record or tied a record for temperature. So players are pretty much spoiled. We call it an icebreaker kind of as a play of words during the summer because we take the ice and pour it on you. Here it actually is kind of icy, but it warms up so well throughout the day that
6-7.
It's one of the first times outdoor handball in Tucson kind of requires you to want to play after 10 or 11 in the morning, as opposed to wanting to get it over by that time. We've had 10 o'clock matches in Tucson in the summer where it was already over 100 degrees.
True. Yeah, I remember a couple of the early icebreakers during COVID. You'd be playing some matches.
107.
June.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be the ball would go out into the grass and everybody would just sprint for the nearest corner of shade on the court.
Most of the time standing next to each other, which you don't see. Bring in unity, this pro tour. That's a beautiful underhand paddle.
That just won't work. You gotta drive the ball with power. Have 10 seconds.
Fink tells Dylan every single time that he has 10 seconds. Dylan finally just says, I know. Good return from Fink. Lucho gets that back, though.
Side out.
Two great gets, just back to the midcourt for Dave there. And I was amazed Dave picked that first ball that Lucho cut.
8-6. Point.
That's one of those typical tennis shots from Dave. Inside out, over the top. Feet kind of in the wrong position in a way, but still in the right position. And he hits it perfectly.
Yeah.
9-6. Side out.
6 serves 9. Game number 2. Dave Fink wins the first one, 21-18.
Have 10 seconds.
Six, 9.
Great serve. Wow, what a hop.
Perfect.
Literally the only way.
Nice little natural hook that slides that side wall.
7-9.
He's another guy that can hop it. He just doesn't incorporate it a lot, but he can do it.
Second serve.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, he's got a brother who's got probably one of the greatest hops on the tour. So he's seen it enough.
Side out.
Yeah, I think he's got kind of his own style as far as how Luis likes to use his hops there. He seems like he'll either knuckle it away out the door. But I think it's interesting for me because he kind of has to give up a little bit of that power that just is on you when he uses the hop.
10-7.
Just to kind of get contact or whatnot. So I think it kind of changes his shot a little bit. guess.
Can't ask for a towel here.
Yep.
Shot.
7-10.
Starting to see, Dave, that
point.
There's an element of stamina here or fatigue that's definitely coming into play. It's seeming like there's some shots that they're just reaching for, you know, getting
it's your first
by the fingertips.
Yeah, if this were a video game, you'd see like
serving 10
percentage next to each one of the players' names, right? Like how much life do they have in them?
How do you not get that?
The last time these two played was in the 5th place final in the 2024 Race for 8 Players Championship, Salt Lake City, where Lucho defeated Dave Fink 25-23. So you can still see at this advanced age, Dave and Lucho are still close.
Oh yeah, and they always battle.
Point.
It was an interesting decision by Dave. He cut that ball off. It was going to be, I think, clearly long, and ended up playing the rally.
Together at 10.
We're going to 21, and we're together at 10. And just like the first game, just not much separation between the two.
No, agreed.
I like that shot. That was good. Lucho entered this 2024 Race for 8 Icebreaker with 164 career wins. That was before the wins that got him to this semifinal. Dave Fink, that actually puts Lucho, by the way, Max, at
together at 10.
number 2 all-time in race wins. And the number 1 race wins guy, that's Dave Fink, believe it or not.
Serve.
I mean, he's been around long enough. 178 career wins entering this match. Actually entering this tournament.
Point.
Both of those guys, yeah. And I mean, that's not only a sign of, you know, quantity in playing a lot of tournaments, it's also quality. I mean, if you go out early, you're not getting these 5 or 6 wins apiece.
Point.
Yeah, you know, if you lose in a quarterfinal, you've already probably got a couple rounds under your belt, and then you go into the 5th place where you've got a couple more and you make it to the final, you win that. You might have 4 or 5 matches
12-10
in a tournament.
Screen.
And then it's a testament to a guy like Luis who's won, I think, 10 of these, right? So he has about 5 wins in a tournament, 4 or 5 wins.
Short.
And it's all about that, and both of these guys really don't miss any of these tournaments.
No, yeah. I mean, they're as dedicated to making these events and getting the points, getting prize money, you know. And also, I think, just playing the game. They both love it, you know. I don't think
13-10.
You'd spend multiple weekends a year for as many years as they have without just genuinely enjoying playing the game.
Right.
Point. $14-10.
Dave's put together a lead here. There's some great serving and shooting.
Side out.
I have 10 seconds.
I like looking at Dylan's face every time Dave says that, because he just sort of shuts his eyes and just shakes his head. Like, I know you do. You know, Dylan's never not said that he had 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
No one's contested it, nor tried to rush it.
Right. I think Dylan's done a good job too, keeping his head, you know.
Point.
So far, I've not seen a wrong call.
Yeah.
15-10.
Dave's starting to pull away here, Max. They
He
were
is.
tied at 10. Dave's got 5 straight, make that 6.
Point.
And now Dave seems to have the crowd support. Dave's own personal cheerleader, Tony Hernandez
16-10.
cheering for him.
Yeah, he's putting the lights out right now.
Make that
Point.
7 in a row now.
Call that, Dylan.
17-10.
What'd you call it?
Set point. Point, sir. 17-10. Point.
Luis is reeling right now from great play from Dave Fink.
18-10. Point.
19-10, 9 straight now.
I mean, it seems like everything Dave's touching right now is just bottom board and flat.
19-10.
Maybe some of the highest level I think I've seen him play in this stretch.
Match coming up after
Point.
this one's going to be Daniel versus Leo Canales. Daniel Cordova. So if Dave goes on to win this, he's going to face either Leo Canales Jr. or brother Daniel Cordova. We'll find out later.
Match point, sir, 10.
Here it is, match point. That's a tough one. Ball comes back out toward the middle for Luis. Dave now back near the baseline. Oh, and he just misses the corner. 10 straight points, though, for Dave Fink here, and a timeout, I believe.
It's your first timeout.
There's a wide-angle shot of Clark Park.
Each have 2 remaining. It's going to be 10 serving 20. All right, 10 serving 20. Side out.
Just got a little aggressive there.
20 serving 10. Short. Second serve.
Match point, Dave. Max. Match point for Dave, and he gets it with a fist pump right there at the end, and he defeats Lucho Cordova 21-10, and he will advance to face either Daniel Cordova or Leo Canales in the semifinal a little later on.